Delighted on opening up today to meet one of the legends of the game. In fact, we can honestly call him a legend because he's recently inducted into the ICC Hall of Fame. Steve Waugh, 5 years now since you finished with cricket. Are there still some pangs somewhere? Do you sort of watch a cricket match and say, could have been me there?
Occasionally I do, but most of the time reality sets in, and I think I don't really want to do the training, I don't want to do the travelling, and I probably don't want to deal with the media, so I'm happy to watch the game, but there are certain situations where you think, geez, I wouldn't mind being out in the middle. This is a situation I really would have liked to have played, but then reality sets in.
You do 30 hours a week, you were telling me some time back. So is Steve, with your charity work, so is Steve Waugh now, very strictly speaking, a former cricketer and a full-time philanthropist?
Yeah, I think I am. Full-time philanthropist and I guess businessman, because you've got to make some money to allow yourself the time to do the philanthropy. But I'm still definitely interested in sport. I love cricket, don't get me wrong. It's in my blood, it's a passion, but there are other things I want to go in a different direction now. I'm committed to those causes, and to do something proper, you've got to give 100%. I feel as if I can't do something 50% and do something else at the same time. So it's really is philanthropy right now.
But cricket took you around the world, took you to some places you probably would never have visited.
Definitely.
Is Laureus doing the same with you now, taking you to places that you otherwise may not have visited?
Yeah, looking back to cricket, cricket gave me basically everything in my life now. I look back and I was fortunate I played cricket, but I went to a lot of different countries, met a lot of different people, and opportunities have all come from cricket. And Laureus is another one of those. That I'm a Laureus World Sports Academy member because of what I've done in cricket, so that allows me to do other things with the organisation. The Sport for Good Foundation visits various projects around the world. We've got 78 projects, 32 countries, and a couple of those are in India.
32 centuries, 32 countries.
There you go, look, that's why you're the numbers man, that's why you're number one.
No, because we remember stats about you.
Yeah, look, Indians certainly do know their stats, and it's amazing as a cricketer because when you're playing, you're well aware of your stats, and you want to do well. You want the team to be ranked number one, you want to average a certain number as a batsman. But the moment you retire, it all sort of becomes irrelevant. I haven't thought once about my stats, and so it's pretty weird how at the time you're sort of focused on your stats, and then when you finish, it's all over.
Just one question on stats before we move on. I promise not to get back to that. The 3200s, Glenn McGrath once told me 5 of those are his. He said if I hadn't been blocking away the other end,
it probably cost me 5 as well, you know, the times you get out. But yeah, look, he was a valuable partner in the end, and he certainly improved his batting. And that was the good thing about the Australian side is we're always trying to improve a bit, and that was borne out in Glenn because really at the start of his career he wasn't that great a batsman. Worked hard on it, and in the end he was a reliable partner. So he played his part.
It's been, what, 2004, so about 6 years now since you finished. You sometimes watch television or read the newspapers and say, is this the game I played? Do you see changes at all?
Look, it's scary when I sit down with my son and watch the replays of the 1987 Classic One-Day matches where I was about 15 kilos lighter and had long hair, and that's quite funny to watch. But in the last 5 years, the game has really changed a lot, and particularly 2020. It's had a huge impact, and just young kids watching the game, they want to play 2020 cricket. So I guess as the older statesmen of the game, we've got to make young kids aware that Test cricket's still really where it's at. Representing a country is a pinnacle. 2020 is great, but it's almost icing on the cake.
But a little bird told me your son plays at the Mongoose bat.
Yeah, he actually was there before Matthew Hayden. Matthew Hayden stole the idea of him. He had it last year. Stuart Law gave it to him. I was in England with the family last year and watching a Lord's Test, and Stuart was showing people the Mongoose bats, and my young bloke picked it up and thought, it's just pretty good. And Stuart sent him a bat a couple of months later. So he was playing the under-10 cricket with the Mongoose bat, and he had a couple of long sixes, and all the kids wanted to look at the bat. And so it's sort of, it's quite funny to now see Matthew using it on the big stage.
So is your son this very gritty player who will say, listen, I'm last man out of this park? Or is he one of those, get on with it, play the big shots?
Look, funny you say that because I was always playing a million shots as a kid, and the more aggressive player than Mark. And I remember scoring 100 off 28 balls when I was playing league cricket in England. So I was the shot maker, the debonair player, and then I guess my game changed as I became an international player. But right now, Austin is pretty similar to what I was like. Plays a million shots. He's bowling a slow ball at the back of the hand. He's got the reverse sweep happening.
Yeah, but the slow ball back at the hand is in his genes, though.
Maybe, but he watched it on the video. I didn't even know he watched it. Next day, I come out the back practicing, and he bowled it at the back of the hand. So I said, that's pretty good. And then when he batted, he had the reverse sweep out, and he was hitting the one over the top of the keeper's head. So, I mean, kids, it's great for kids these days, and that's what 2020's done. That kids copy it, and they can fulfil their full potential and try different shots.
Given that the change is happening in your own household, do you see this as becoming the dominant form of the game?
Well, yeah, I can only judge by what my son says and what he does. I mean, he still watches Test matches, but he'll say to me, "Come on, let's go in the backyard and let's have a game of 20-20." And the way we play it is, I bowl 20 balls to him. You know, the fence might be 4 over, the fence 6. He tallies his score up, and then I get my 20 balls, and invariably I lose.
So if there's one person who's seen the soft side of Steve Waugh, the cricketer, it's him.
No, it's full on. There's no charity for him. You know, he's got to earn his runs, but you know, he's pretty good.
Nonsense. He can't beat you otherwise.
No, I don't. Look, honestly, he's pretty good. You know, he's got a good eye. But yeah, look, there's maybe a little bit of charity there, but you know, it's played pretty tough.
I don't know. Whatever you say, I just get the feeling that Steve Waugh, the philanthrope, is playing against his son.
Well, you'll have to come and film a game in the backyard one time.
Not a problem at all.